What would you do if your sister's life depended on the last meal you had, but a hungry stranger knocked on your door? This is the true story of Lilly, a 17-year-old Nigerian girl whose quiet act of kindness changed her destiny. Her twin sister was dying, their food was gone, and hope was slipping away. But when an old woman appeared needing help, Lilly made a choice, one that would unlock a miracle neither of them ever saw coming. Before we dive into the main story, welcome to Global Storyteller Official. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more emotional and captivating stories. Thank you.
Before we unravel today's story, make sure to like, comment, and share. You're watching the Global Storyteller Official, where every tale leaves a mark.
Lilly was only 17, but life had made her grow up quickly. She didn't have her parents anymore. They had died in a car accident. Since that terrible day, she'd been caring for her twin sister, Lucy. Lucy was born with a weak heart. The doctor said she needed surgery soon or she might not survive. But surgery cost money, and Lilly had none. One hot afternoon, Lilly sat under a dusty mango tree at the edge of the road. Her faded yellow dress clung to her skin from sweat. In her hand, she held a warm plate of rice, the only food she had managed to get all day. She hadn't eaten since yesterday, but it wasn't for her. She was keeping it for Lucy, who lay sick at home. As Lilly sat there wiping her sweaty forehead, she heard a voice. "My child," the voice whispered weakly. Lilly looked up. An old woman stood before her, barefoot, wearing a torn wrapper, her eyes tired and her hands shaking. "I haven't eaten since yesterday," the woman said. "Can you spare a bite?" Lilly looked at the food. Her hand tightened around the plate. "I'm sorry, Ma," she said softly. "This is for my twin sister. She's sick. I haven't eaten too, but she needs it more than I do." The old woman nodded and slowly sat down on a stone nearby. Her shoulders sagged. "Even one bite could help me," she whispered, clutching her chest. Lilly looked at her again. Her lips were dry, her toes dusty. She looked like someone who hadn't had a kind word in days. Lily's heart beat hard. Then she did something she didn't fully understand. She stood up, knelt beside the woman, and handed her the whole plate. "Take it," she whispered. The woman's hands trembled as she received the plate. Her eyes filled with tears. "God bless you, child. You've given more than food. You've given me life." Lilly said nothing. She just stood, nodded once, and began walking home with an empty stomach and a heavy heart. Lilly walked home slowly, her belly empty but her soul full. The sun beat down on her tired shoulders, and her thin sandals scraped the dusty ground. Her feet ached, but she didn't care. All she could think about was her sister. When Lilly opened the wooden door to their small room, Lucy looked up with hopeful eyes. "Did you bring the food?" Lucy asked, her voice soft like the wind. Lilly smiled gently and sat beside her on the mat. "No, Lucy," she said. "I gave it to an old woman. She was hungry, too." Lucy's face fell. "But I'm really hungry, Lilly." Lilly pulled her into a hug. "I know, my love. I'm so sorry. But something in my heart said she needed it. I promise. I'll find us more food tomorrow." That night, Lucy lay in bed coughing softly. Lilly stayed awake, watching over her like a guardian angel. She whispered a prayer to the stars outside the broken window. "Please, God, help me save her. Show me a way." The next morning, Lilly woke before the sun and tied her scarf tightly around her head. She kissed Lucy's forehead and left the house with hope in her heart and courage in her feet. She walked for hours, past shops, churches, and schools, asking for work. But nobody wanted a poor girl with no experience. Her stomach growled, but she kept walking. Then she saw it. A large gate with flowers beside it. On the gate was a small wooden sign that read, "Housekeeper wanted, apply in person." Lily's heart jumped. She looked up at the sky. "Is this it?" she whispered. She knocked on the gate, and a tall guard in a brown uniform opened it. "What do you want?" he asked. "I saw the sign," Lilly said, her voice steady. "I want to apply." The man looked her over. Her dress was worn, her slippers dusty, but her eyes were kind. Come back tomorrow, he said. The boss is not in. Please, sir, Lily begged. Can't I just wait? He shook his head. The boss doesn't like strangers waiting at the gate. Lily nodded slowly. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. She turned and walked away, but just as she reached the corner, she saw someone ahead. It was her, the old woman, the one Lily had given her last food to. Only now, she looked different. She was carrying 2 large bags, and her back was bent. Lily ran to her. Mama, let me help you. The old woman looked up and smiled. My child, she whispered. You again, the one with the kind heart. Lily helped carry the heavy bags, even though her arms ached. How is your sister? The woman asked. Lily sighed. Still sick, but I haven't given up. I'll find a way. The woman looked at her kindly and said, You will, and heaven will help you. Then she paused. My name is Rose, she said, but people call me Granny Rose. Lily smiled. I'm Lily. They walked slowly down the street, and Granny Rose looked at her deeply. Lily, she said softly, your heart is like a candle in a dark room. Keep it burning. The next morning, Lily returned to the big house just as the sky turned blue. The guard smiled and opened the gate. You're early. I want to try, Lily said with a small smile. Inside the house, a tall man with a gentle face sat on a wooden chair sipping tea. He looked up as Lily approached. You're here for the job? He asked. Yes, sir, Lily said. The man studied her face, then said, I'm Mr. Daniel. I own this home. Tell me, can you clean well? Yes, sir. Can you wash clothes, sweep, and keep the house in order? I can, sir. I'll work hard. Mr. Daniel put down his cup. It's not a live-in job. You'll come early, clean everything, and leave in the evening. I'll pay weekly. Lily's eyes widened. Thank you, sir. Thank you. He smiled slightly. Start tomorrow. Lily walked home with joy bouncing in her heart like sunlight. She opened the door and shouted, Lucy! Lucy! Her sister sat up slowly, surprised. I got the job, Lucy. I got the job. Lucy's eyes filled with happy tears. Lily, I'm proud of you. They hugged tightly. Now we can start saving for your surgery, Lily whispered. Every morning, Lily left her small house early and walked to Mr. Daniel's big house with joy in her heart. The air was fresh, the birds sang softly, and for the first time in a long time, she felt like her prayers were working. At the gate, the friendly guard would greet her. Morning, Lily. Good morning, sir. She'd reply with a warm smile. Lily worked hard, sweeping the wide floors, dusting the shelves, and scrubbing the windows until they sparkled like stars. She didn't just clean, she cared. She watered the flowers. She wiped every chair with love. She even made the house smell like roses by leaving orange peels and cinnamon in little bowls. Mr. Daniel noticed everything. She works like the house is her own, he said quietly one afternoon as he watched her through the window. She didn't talk much, but when she smiled, it felt like sunshine. Something about her was different. One day, after a long, hot afternoon, Lily finished mopping and noticed that Mr. Daniel wasn't in his usual chair. She peeked into the sitting room. It was dark. He had just come in from work. He looked tired. On the table, Lily placed a warm bowl of yam porridge she had cooked at home and brought in her small food flask. Beside it, she left a note. Good evening, sir. I noticed you didn't eat lunch today. I thought this might help. Lily. Mr. Daniel came into the room and stopped. He stared at the food. Then he read the note. His heart softened. She wasn't even asked to cook, he whispered. Who does that? He sat down, took one bite, and smiled. It was delicious, but more than that, it was full of care. The next day, he called Lily while she was wiping the window. Lily, he said, why did you cook for me yesterday? Lily looked down, shy. You look tired, sir, and I had some food left. I thought maybe it would help. Mr. Daniel nodded slowly. Thank you. No one's done that for me in a long time. Lily gave a small smile and returned to work, not knowing that something was already blooming in Mr. Daniel's heart. Something soft, something real. Meanwhile, back home, Lucy's cough had gotten worse. Some nights, Lily would sit beside her, wiping her sister's forehead and whispering stories just to help her sleep. But her heart was heavy. Time was running out. She needed money for Lucy's surgery and fast. "I have to save more," Lily whispered to herself one night. "I have to do something." Then came a surprise. One evening, Mr. Daniel told Lily, "My mother will be visiting tomorrow. Please make sure the guest room is very clean." "Yes, sir." The next morning, Lily cleaned the room with extra care. She dusted every corner, fluffed the pillows, and sprayed it with lavender oil. Later that day, Lily heard a knock at the gate. She peeked from the dining room as Mr. Daniel opened the door and smiled. "Mom," he said happily. Then Lily's heart skipped. She saw the woman, the same old woman she had helped months ago. The one she gave her only food to. The one she had helped carry a heavy bag. "Granny Rose," Lily whispered, her hands frozen mid-cleaning. Granny Rose looked into the house, and when her eyes met Lily's, she stopped. Her mouth opened in surprise. "Lily," she said. Mr. Daniel turned to both of them, confused. "You two know each other?" Granny Rose smiled, her eyes full of tears. "Yes," she whispered. "This is the girl, the one I told you about." Mr. Daniel looked between them. "What do you mean?" Granny Rose walked slowly to the center of the living room. "I didn't tell you before," she began, "but I've been watching people. I disguised myself as a poor old woman to see who would help me. Not because I needed help, but because I wanted to find a kind person for you, Daniel." Mr. Daniel's eyes widened. Granny Rose turned to Lily. "This girl, when she had nothing, she gave me everything, even her last meal. She didn't know who I was. She didn't ask for anything. She just gave." Lily wiped tears from her cheeks. She was shocked and speechless. Granny Rose looked at Mr. Daniel. "Son, this is the kind of woman you need in your life. Not rich, not famous, but real, and full of love." The room went silent. Mr. Daniel didn't speak. He stood still, looking at Lily, his heart beating loudly. Then, without saying a word, he walked to his room and closed the door gently. Granny Rose sat beside Lily and held her hand. "Thank you, child," she said softly. "You showed me what love looks like." Later that night, Mr. Daniel sat by his window, staring at the stars. "So that was her," he whispered. "All this time I thought I was helping her. But really, she was helping me." His heart was full. He smiled and said quietly, "She's the one." The morning after the big reveal, Lily arrived early as always. She wore a clean white dress with a neat scarf tied around her head. Her heart felt strange. Not scared, but full of wonder. Everything had changed. When she entered the house, Granny Rose was already awake, sitting in the garden with a cup of tea. "Good morning, my dear," she said kindly. "Good morning, Granny Rose," Lily said, bowing slightly. Granny Rose looked at her gently. "Come sit with me for a moment." Lily sat down on the bench beside her. "My son hasn't stopped thinking about you," Granny Rose whispered. Lily looked down shyly. "Your kindness didn't just feed me," Granny Rose continued. "It planted something in our lives. Something that's growing every day." Lily smiled, but her mind went to Lucy again. Her sister had been coughing badly that morning. Her hands were cold. Her breathing was slower. Granny Rose noticed the worry in Lily's eyes. "How's your sister doing?" Lily hesitated. "Not good," she said softly. "The doctor says if she doesn't get surgery soon." Her voice broke. Granny Rose reached over and took Lily's hand. "Come," she said. "Follow me." They walked to the house. Mr. Daniel was in the study. "Son," Granny Rose said gently, "we need to help her sister now." Mr. Daniel looked up, already nodding. "I was thinking the same thing." He stood and picked up his phone. "Lily, call your sister's doctor. Tell him we'll pay for everything. The surgery, the medicine, whatever she needs." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "Sir, I don't even know what to say." "Say nothing," Mr. Daniel said with a smile. Just go be with your sister. A week later, Lucy lay on a clean hospital bed, her tiny chest rising and falling slowly. Nurses buzzed around. The doctor stood at the door. "We're ready," he said. Lily kissed her sister's forehead. "Be strong, Lucy. You're my sunshine." As the door closed, Lily sat in the hallway, holding Granny Rose's hand on one side and Mr. Daniel's hand on the other. She prayed silently, her heart trembling. Time passed slowly. Minutes felt like hours. Then the doctor returned with a smile. "She's going to be okay," he said. The surgery was a success. Lily jumped up and hugged him. Thank you, thank you. She'll need to rest," the doctor said. "But she will walk and run like any other child." Lily dropped to her knees and cried happy tears. Granny Rose smiled. Kindness always finds its way back. Weeks passed. Lucy healed quickly. She started walking again, her legs stronger than ever. She even ran to meet Lily at the door one afternoon, shouting, "Lily, I drew a picture of us." Lily picked her up, laughing and spinning. Felt like a dream, but there was more to come. One quiet afternoon, Mr. Daniel stood outside by the flowers. He had a small box in his hand and a fast heartbeat in his chest. Lily came out carrying a tray of tea. "Here's your ginger tea, sir," she said. "Thank you," he said, smiling. He took the cup but didn't sip. Instead, he looked at her carefully. "Lily, may I ask you something important?" Lily looked up. "Yes, sir." He took a deep breath and opened the box. Inside was a simple, shining silver ring. "Lily," he said, "I've watched you. You love deeply. You give without asking. You care with your whole heart. I've never met anyone like you." Lily's eyes widened. "Will you marry me?" For a second, the whole world felt quiet. Lily's hands trembled. Her eyes filled with tears. I need to think," she whispered. Mr. Daniel nodded gently. "Take your time. I'll wait." That night, Lily sat beside Lucy, brushing her hair. "Lucy?" she asked softly. "Yes. If someone truly loves you and cares for you and your heart says yes, should you say yes?" Lucy giggled. "Lily, I'm just a kid." Lily laughed too. "Yes, but a smart one." Lucy turned and hugged her. "Say yes, Lily. You deserve to be happy too." Lily nodded slowly. "I think you're right." The next morning, Lily wore a yellow dress and braided her hair neatly. She stepped into Mr. Daniel's house with calm steps and a bright smile. He stood waiting by the door. "Good morning," he said. Lily smiled. "Good morning, sir. I have an answer." He held his breath. "Yes," she whispered. "I'll marry you." Mr. Daniel couldn't hold back his joy. He lifted her gently and spun her around. Granny Rose came running in from the kitchen, shouting, "Did I hear yes?" Lily laughed. "Yes, Mama." Granny Rose dropped her spoon and started dancing. "Thank you, Lord." The wedding day. The hall was glowing with golden lights. Lily wore a long white gown that flowed like a waterfall. Her eyes sparkled with joy. Her hands held a bouquet of white roses. Lucy walked ahead of her, throwing flowers down the aisle, wearing silver shoes and a proud smile. Mr. Daniel stood at the altar, looking at Lily with love shining in his eyes. The music played, people smiled, and the whole room stood up as Lily walked down the aisle. When they joined hands, the pastor smiled and said, "This is what love looks like, a love built on kindness, honesty, and true heart." As they kissed, cheers filled the air. Later that evening, Lucy danced with Lily under the stars. "I told you," Lucy said. "Kind hearts always win." Lily laughed. "And now we're safe, we're happy, and we're home." Mr. Daniel hugged them both tightly, and Granny Rose wiped her happy tears. "You fed a hungry stranger, Lily," she whispered, "and you saved your sister's life." Moral of the story: a small act of kindness can open the biggest doors. One meal changed Lily's life. One gentle heart saved another. So always be kind, because you never know. Your kindness may be someone else's miracle.